Good morning, purple and teal dragons. Welcome to another YouTube video that matches up with our lessons for the week. We are continuing to work on topic 14, where we work with different types of shapes and their attributes. And remember, attributes describe the most important parts of the shape, like how many sides they have, how many vertices they have, whether or not they have sides that are the same length or they're equal. So last week we kind of described our different shapes, we defined what was important about them, and this week we are going to do a little bit of kind of playing with those shapes and seeing how we can use them to build new things. So for this first lesson, we will really be focusing on lesson 14.4. And the main point of this lesson is that we can put 2D shapes together to make new two-dimensional shapes. So first, I'm going to pull out one of our trapezoids. This here is a trapezoid. It has 4 sides, and 2 of those sides are kind of slanted, and 2 go straight across the top and the bottom. So I want to think, how can I make this trapezoid using a different shape? And the first one I'm going to try is my triangles. So I'm going to pull down a couple triangles to help me build this shape. So the first thing I'm going to do is see if I can fit the triangle just like it is now anywhere on this trapezoid. And I'm going to say, oh, that doesn't cover it perfectly. Oh, but if I put it in the middle, that works. And now I can kind of see, now that it's in the middle, that so we can see that there's actually 2 other perfect triangles to the left and to the right of our middle one, but I'm going to have to flip these guys around if I want that to work. So now that they're flipped, I can drag them over kind of like a puzzle, and I can see that if I use 3 triangles, that lets me make 1 trapezoid. So 3 small triangles make 1 trapezoid. So now we're going to try another shape. Raise triangles. And I'm going to pull out a hexagon. And my hexagon, if we remember from last week, has 6 sides. And because it's a closed shape, it also has 6 vertices. And I'm going to see the different ways I can make this hexagon. So first I'm going to pull down my biggest shape and see if I can do anything with these. So I brought down 2 trapezoids, and I'm going to see if they can kind of fit on this hexagon. And it might not be perfect, guys, because I don't have my actual geometry shapes, but we're just going to kind of imagine. So let's see if I kind of put it over the top. That sort of matches if the hexagon was bigger. It has those 3 sides. And then I need to kind of flip this one to make the bottom half kind of like a mirror. So even though it's not the same size as that yellow hexagon, I can see that it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides and 6 corners, so it has to be a hexagon as well. But this one's an interesting shape because there's more than one way that I can make my hexagon. So now I'm going to try with triangles. I'm going to see if I can make that same shape with my triangles. So I'm going to pull down 3 for now and see where that gets me. So I'm going to start by lining up my top edge with the top of my hexagon as best as I can. Again, this might not be perfect because these are a little bit different than other ones. So I'm going to start with kind of filling in the sides. I might not be able to do it on this thing. Nope, I can't quite do it with this wacky program. But what would happen if this was perfect was that if I used 6 triangles, so if I had one here, one kind of going slanted this way, kind of slanted. Oh, wait, maybe it does work. Hold on, guys. Oh, oh no, messed it up. And this is kind of, I mean, it looks silly, me messing around with it, but in real life, that's kind of what you have to do sometimes, because some of these shapes you just have to kind of play with and see how to get it to do what you want. Not all of them are obvious, so you can't always kind of see it right away. It can be a little bit tricky to picture it. So it ended up working out nice. And we can see that if I use those 6 triangles, it makes a 6-sided figure with 6 corners or vertices, which is our hexagon. So we have 2 ways currently: triangles, trapezoids, that make our hexagon. I'm sorry for all the pet sounds you guys probably hear in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and erase and the trapezoids. Now I don't have a big block for this, but we're going to try and make a rectangle with a couple different shapes. So we know that a rectangle has 4 sides. The top 2 sides are the same. The 2 left and right sides match, but it's kind of stretched out. So we're going to make it with some squares. So let's see, if I put together enough squares, I can make this as big or as small as I want. I can actually make a rectangular shape. So it's not a square anymore because not all the sides are equal, but this side, the left and the right match, and the top and the bottom match. I can also kind of make my triangle, or my, sorry, rectangle, using some triangles. Now some rectangles are kind of slanted and we call those kind of like rhombuses. But if I take take to triangles, and I kind of touch their sides together in the middle so they're not pointy sides. It kind of makes like this squished looking rectangle square guy, and I could actually make it even more rectangular by adding a shape that I don't actually have. I'm not going to do that. We can also put together just a plain old rhombus to help us make a rectangle. We could play with this like a long time, guys. Like shapes are kooky. Like we can even get to the point where we, you know, kind of mix and match things, you know, like our hexagon. We could have a trapezoid on the top and we could have those 3 triangles on the bottom. It kind of just takes playing around. It can be a little bit tricky to do if you don't have shapes like these at home. Like Miss Skeens forgot all of hers at school thinking we'd be back. But you just kind of have to tinker with it. So the main point of this video is I just want you to see that shapes are kind of like puzzles. We can use different pieces to make the same picture. Okay? It just takes some playing and thinking and imagining in our head how we can twist and turn and flip them to make it work. You don't actually have any practice problems for this week. You're just writing what you've learned about the topic. But I just want you to think about it because you will do this eventually in later grades. So just keep it in your mind and think about some of the things that I did. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. I will be posting another one, 2 more actually this week, about building kind of pictures and art with shapes. And we're going to start talking about 3D, 3-dimensional shapes. So not 2D anymore, 3D. So tune in for those. I miss all of you. If you have any questions about this week, just message me on Edsby or Blooms or my Google Voice number. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.